What's up, y'all? This is your boy J Rock. As you can see, my co-host Fell in Love with Carly is not here yet, but she may pop in any second. I want to say that the both of us have probably been having some connectivity issues, so all is good. We are here as we are scheduled to be, and I am so grateful for this opportunity. Now, all of you who are watching, I know that you know how much I love this industry. I love this business, and I love being able to talk to people. I feel like I have the gift of gab, so I like being in this position where I can sit down and talk to my favorite artists and musicians and celebrities and all around. So I'm really excited about today. This is an amazing opportunity. Number one, because I really just learned of her music not too long ago, but I'm floored already. And just like that, I have the opportunity to talk to her. So I want to take a moment to welcome in this amazing guest that we have today. Her name is Lena Byrd Miles. I have been saying that all day long because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna mess it up when I talk to her. So I'm like, let me make sure that I get it right. So that's why I was a little slow when I was saying it. But
Oh, perfect.
I want to welcome you. I really want to thank you for this opportunity to talk to you. So as I kind of was hinting, I love this industry, and I emphasize that. Like I love this industry. I love the business. I love being able to talk to people like you because I love music so much, and it's such a tremendous part of my life. Like no matter what I'm going through, I usually can find some type of music or some song or something that kind of resonates with how I'm feeling, and that kind of helps me come out of maybe whatever little slump that I feel like I'm in. So to be able to connect with my favorite artists, like I like to be able to do this and actually build like genuine relationships because I'm sure, as you know, a lot of times when you talk to journalists and you talk to media people, a lot of them, they're working. So that, like, not saying that they don't love your music, but a lot of times they're doing it for their job. When I
Yeah.
tell you I can do this for free, and sometimes I feel like I do it for free. um if I had, a lot of times we think about, well, what would I be doing if I couldn't do nothing else?
Mhm.
It would be this. Like this is what I would be doing, whether I got paid
I
or I
love it.
paid. Like this is what I would be doing. So
I love it.
to be able to learn of your music and then instantly take a liking to it, and then
Thank
I
you.
get the opportunity to talk to you, like I'm floored, like I'm excited. I'm
Thank
still
you.
learning about you, but today is awesome because now you can fill me in on what I feel like I don't know. um,
Okay. Okay.
of course, we make it as quick as we can because I know that we don't have a whole lot of time, and I just spent 5 minutes telling you all of
No, it's,
that.
I love it. I loved hearing all of it. So thank you for, first of all, hi everybody. I don't know why my eye keeps watering because I'm like they probably think I'm getting emotional, but it's like because as I'm dabbing while you're saying certain things, I'm like they probably think I'm emotional. My eye just
Yeah,
it's probably the air conditioning, but I'm honored to be with you all today. Thank you for having me, and hi to the co-host whenever she pops in. But
yeah,
it's an honor. I'm grateful that you even took time to listen, to want to get to know me and understand my music. It means the world. I'm the newbie on the block, so just to have people interested in my album is just it does my heart great. So
yeah.
thank you for even stating that. So I appreciate it.
It's just like there's a lot of people who when they see the name Erica Campbell and they know,
Yeah.
obviously that you're on this amazing tour that she's got going on now. When they see that, a lot of people are like, okay, I'll give it a listen, and because she's with Erica Campbell. But then it's like when they hear you, it's like, oh
Oh,
yeah, oh yeah, like she really got it. Like
thank
what
you.
what got you into music? Like how did you get started with all of this?
Okay, so growing up, I've been singing my whole life. I'm 41 years old. I'm from Oakland, California.
I
I
love
come from a family church where my granddaddy, 86 years old to this day, still pastors. My mom is the minister of music, organist there. My dad plays the bass, so and my granddaddy even plays the Hawaiian steel guitar and regular guitar. My grandmother plays piano. So I come from a musical family and background. And of course, when it's a family church, you got to sing when it ain't no choir there. You got to help serve rice pilaf when the when it ain't no servers after the 3 o'clock service. You got to help collect the Sunday school offering. You carrying the plate around. So you work. You just grow up working in the church, and
But that in
that's
itself is I would imagine, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I would
okay.
imagine that that's kind of what keeps you humble, is like the humble beginnings and the fact that when the other stuff ain't going on, this is what you're doing. Like,
Absolutely.
you're
And
actually in life.
I think it helps contribute to dealing in like a lot of people say, even in like public speaking jobs, that the church helped them cultivate, just helping them get over their fear, because you're doing it at church and you're saying your Easter speech when you little, so you get over the crowd. You're
Right.
always nervous. I'm always nervous. I won't
Yeah.
say that, because I could come out and see a big crowd and be like, where my mama at 41,
Yeah.
but I think growing up in church helps you build that, to not just want to retreat and run and hide type of thing, or people who get really sweaty palms or just anxiety because they're so fearful of just the people. But church, it also, along with keeping you humble, it helps with that too, cultivating and being able to stand and sing in front of people, even though a lot of times when I was a kid, I wouldn't look up from the floor. I would be singing,
Now, that's
looking down.
what I was. Like, for whatever reason, ironically, performing in church as a kid didn't hit me like how you said that, or it didn't help me the way that you said that it, often helps a lot of people. Like, and I'm 45, so like
Okay.
I can appreciate everything about your journey, because like you're accomplishing your dreams at 41. And me being 45, the first thing I'm gonna say is that ain't nowhere near old. But it's like
Okay.
people put, people look at, age, and they think that, oh well, it's kind of late. And like I think it's beautiful. And
Thank you.
it's like it symbolizes just that whole idea that it doesn't matter where you are in your life and how long it takes you, but you still can accomplish it if you want to.
Absolutely.
And like
Yes.
you're really doing it. Like, I spent the whole lifetime of being withdrawn and nervous and
Oh,
scared, and
understood. Understood.
and I'm only maybe 2 to 3 years out of that now. So now it's like and I don't know where
But
it came from, but
but
it's like,
sometimes something just clicks over time. Sometimes it, like you
yeah,
said, sometimes it takes us longer. Like I feel like I'm better at singing than I am at talking. So sometimes I get sort of anxiety when it comes to this part, like what I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna say, and what if they
yeah,
ask me a question that I feel like
yeah.
I don't know the answer. You get that type
But
of
it's
thing.
beautiful though. And like, I come from a musical family, but a lot of it I didn't learn it until I was older.
Oh,
So
okay.
I knew, kind of like, as a child, I knew. So my cousins are Fantasia, Casey, and JoJo.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
I never knew of them until probably 10 years ago, of them being related to me.
Got
But
it.
I knew
Okay.
of like her parents and her parents and her father, and then her father's siblings, because they had the Barino brothers. So
Okay.
growing up, I would see like the 45s and the 33s and like all the albums and stuff of the Barino,
Yeah. Them.
and I knew of that. But because my grandfather never really communicated with that side of the family, and then he passed in '85, it was like,
Oh.
it was like we don't
Yeah.
know anything about that side of the family. So we knew of the
Okay.
brothers, but then we never knew of anything else until one day we're looking at American Idol, and it's like, well, she's got to be
Wow.
related, because
That last name.
she has to be related, but where does it come from? Now, mind you, a decade earlier was Jodeci, but because and even me being one who read the album credits and all of that stuff, I never put it together until after we learned about Fantasia. Then it was like, oh well, shoot. So then that means. So then it's like, kind of doing the research, and then they ended up reaching out to us at one point, So then that's how we kind of all connected. And but
Wow.
it's like a whole lifetime, and we didn't really know. And it goes to show too, like, just not knowing your family. Like you don't know who your family is, and then suddenly you learn who these people are, and wow, that's
Yeah, because
family.
that's the other part where those family reunions come into play, where you
Yeah,
get to meet the cut.
yeah.
We don't have a lot of those no more.
But
So you
I
get to
say
meet
all
all
of
the.
that too, just to say, like, even coming from a musical family, like it kind of puts two and two together why music is so strong in my life and why it resonates and why I played instruments and everybody on my immediate side of the family played instruments and were in band and all that stuff. It didn't really help me with it. I guess. But it is amazing, like to hear your story in the background and where you come from, and how you got
Yeah.
into it, and it all makes sense.
But it took, like I said, I sang looking at the floor for a long time.
Yeah,
I would say probably maybe once I got into my 20s, I started looking up a little bit more, because it would be like, as a kid, you singing about how happy in Jesus you are, and people are like, could have fooled me because you look
right,
depressed. You look depressed in Jesus the way you singing it.
right.
You so just, I think over time too, when you start when you're a kid, you're told what to sing, but as you get older, you get to select songs that you feel like you connect or resonate with you. So it does make you feel like, let me step out and of my shell a little bit more. That's where I felt like I connected a little bit better when certain people came on the scene, the
Right.
Marys and the Kimberells, and or I started trying to
Well,
sound like
you naming them because I love some Kim Burrell and
yeah, Kim
yeah.
McFarlane, Daryl Coley, and
Wow.
just people that did things with their voice that I would try to mimic, or so then you start, and then you see the response of people in the audience as you doing certain, so that's confidence building too, by seeing people standing up and clapping, and
Yeah.
your auntie saying you was on it today,
Right.
or you wearing that hat because you
Right.
got your little outfit for the event. But those, they don't understand that sometimes those little things, just that don't cost a dime, help build your
Yeah.
character and
Absolutely.
help
Absolutely.
build your confidence,
Absolutely.
so it's
So
important.
now I know we're moving kind of fast.
No problem.
We're kind of fast forwarding, I guess, kind of quickly, but that's just because of the time constraint. How does that transition into where you are now with this album, and with the tour, and touring with none other than ERICA Campbell? Like, how does it transition to this?
Well, of course, you guys know that she's giving me pointers and kind of preparing me, because this is my first tour. And I'm opening up for her. So, you got all the, like you said, that you getting the anxious and the the nerves that's coming with what to expect, because like I said, this is my first time. It'll be 7 cities, and I just want to be, up to par. And but yeah, you try to make sure you include all the things that you were taught from a young girl, and even how sometimes you have to unteach certain habits that you picked up, and maybe trying this with the microphone, sitting it in the stand and moving around, and all these different things that the Campbells are, when I get on stage, I do this, or I walk across this way for a little bit,
Right.
work the stage over here, come over here. Whereas, you just in a small church, you stand in that one spot and work that area. So you have other things and other factors that you're kind of constantly keeping in the back of your mind, because
Mhm.
I want to do whatever I can do to get an eighth. I want her to say, okay, I want Lena to go with me to the next city. Or I don't want her to be like, after the first city, like, nah, she need to
Right. Right.
she need to go back to doing hair.
No, they ain't saying that at all. Trust you. When they listen to Walk on Water, or just when they listen to Brand New in general, like, they ain't saying
Thank
that at
you.
all. You know they not.
Yeah, well, Erica told me personally, we had dinner right before we announced the tour, and she was like, I asked for you to come be. She could have asked for anybody to open up for her. So for her to request me, that was huge. I was like, oh, let me get my napkin, because I
Right.
do. I am an emotional creature though. So that's why I'm like, people probably like, oh, Lena crying already. But I am a crybaby in that sense, because
But I
I'm
actually
so
like that about you, because even being a guy, like, I am too. So
okay.
it's I absolutely am all day long. So, like, that would have me sitting in the corner somewhere like
Yes.
yeah.
When you like, I grew up listening at 19 years old when they came on the scene. I never thought that my life would land me to work with them. And I was happy off of that alone. I was happy that Warren Campbell produced my project. I didn't see
Yeah.
myself, I didn't know about this tour stuff that was finna happen, and God just opening these extra doors, as I call them, extra bonuses that He's adding to enrich the experience. But I was like, just the fact that Erica making me bacon and grits in her kitchen, I'm I'm good. I'm good with life right there.
Right,
Like
right,
I'm eating grits and bacon at their house. Like, the house that was on TV.
right.
So yeah, you try not to fan out. You're
Yeah,
like family to these people, and we record music in their bedroom. Me and her.
yeah.
She's bringing me water while I'm singing hooks for Warren and stuff like that. It's just crazy that all of that came into play and changed the whole trajectory of my life. And
Right.
now these people are family to me, and they're dear to me, and that they would open these doors for opportunities for me to walk through. So
I
it's
think they're
beyond a blessing.
like if it's anybody for you to be working with, like that's the group of people for you to be working with. And whether it's whether it's his sister Joy, or
Yeah, I love her.
whether it's Mary, or
Yeah,
like they're all genuine. And
absolutely.
like you get that from them, the minute
Yeah.
talking to you and the minute they start working with you, like you see how genuine they really are. And that's
And
the
want you to win. They want you to win.
win. And that's the beauty of them, is that like they want you to win.
It feels so wonderful
Mhm.
to even just have that. And it feels like a family. Even with, I'll say, with the Walls group, I just did the Exodus Festival with Adam Blackstone. And I didn't know that, people were recording from a certain angle, but
Uh-huh.
you just see the Walls group are in the wings. They just like jamming to Walk on Water with
Yeah,
me. And I'm like, 9 times out of 10, once an artist is done, they're over in their phones or on to the next thing. But they stayed and waited for like their big sister to, they know,
absolutely.
even though they've been in the game way longer, I'm older than them. So
Yeah.
I'm still new on the scene. But the fact that they were just showing community and camaraderie, it
But
had
that's
me
the thing
tearing up.
but that's the thing that, further builds your character, and
Yes.
and it helps you maneuver through the industry, because you get people who naturally just want you to win. You get people who naturally just want you to win. So your album, Brand New, it came out last year, obviously produced by Warren Campbell. Kind of talk a little bit about that album for the people who don't know.
Okay. Brand New is a bunch of sounds within the genre, I'd say. You have your contemporary gospel, you have some traditional gospel,
Yeah.
you have for the quartet lovers, I have a quartet song on there featuring the Soul Seekers, and then you got your ballads and your I'm featuring the tones from Anthony Hamilton's
Yes.
group on
Listen.
this song called "Loving You," and I would
Uh-huh.
I would describe it as just different conversation pieces. In certain parts of in certain songs, you have the perspective of God talking to me. Like my song "Watch Me" was to encourage the believer during the pandemic time. We wrote that, and then you have other songs where I'm talking to God, like on my song "This Is the Day," where I'm thanking Him for everything before I start my day. Which is what we should. First, most times people getting up, they checking emails or Instagram, but we
Uh-huh.
forget to acknowledge God first and say,
Absolutely.
"Let me
Absolutely.
let me see if I can hear today. Do my eyes work? Do my legs
Absolutely.
work?" We
Absolutely.
on to so that's what this is the day, saying, Lord, thank you that you even gave me another chance to get things right. Or that could mean so many different things, whether it's reconciling with family, or this is the day I get promoted, or this is the day. One of my
Mhm.
friends, he said, I'm bumping this is the day because today is the day that my wife comes out of the hospital and comes home after she had been in the hospital several months. So just the way to see the music impacting listeners, it's a little bit of everything for everybody. I think you can
Yeah,
find something that you'll love.
absolutely. The Hamiltons, like I love pretty much everything they do.
Right,
So,
me too.
so that song in itself resonated with me. But I think the album as a whole resonates with me just because of how well rounded it is. It's
Thank you.
weird because like I love all kinds of music. But then, once now that you know who, some of the relatives are, or you can see why I love like all different types of music.
Makes a lot of sense.
And I like gospel, like I love gospel. It's weird because like Tina Campbell, she had her album that she put out. She has a song on there, "Blessed Life," and that's like the opener to my playlist on.
Oh, we're going right. We're
Right,
going home.
absolutely. I love that song, but then I love
Yeah.
everything that Mary does anyway, or either of them does. So it's like that song opens my playlist, but then I have some Charles Jenkins on there. I mean,
Yeah.
I have pretty much all of Kirk Franklin. So like his new song out right now, I'm like that was the opener, and then I moved "Blessed Life" back to. But when you think of like kind of like the old school gospel, so like the Shirley Caesars, and like I know who they are. I know that they are strong, like they're obviously strong singers, and like
Yeah.
they've made a tremendous impact. But I've never been able to really get into like the traditional gospel.
Sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like the Kirk Franklins and the Charles Jenkinses and the Mary Marys and
Yeah.
like those artists and you.
Thank
And
you.
like you're the ones who make me want to listen to this music.
I
So
love it. Thank
I
you.
love the fact that it's well rounded because you get kind of some of everything. And I mean, there's music that doesn't sound like gospel. And to me, that's
Yeah.
the whole idea of it is you want to be able to touch everybody with it. And I think that
Yes.
you do a good job of that. Um,
Thank you.
I think you do an amazing job of that. Walk on Water, I think, is amazing.
Thank
And
you.
this whole opportunity and experience of being able to connect with you is really, really awesome. And like when I have these conversations, I think the thing that sticks out to me about a lot of people is like how genuine they are. And like you could say, like you just like their heart shines through, like with with the music that they're making and with the things that they're saying. Like you just can see that, like this person is really real. Like they really got a heart, and they really experiencing all the same stuff that we are. And how you talked about church and serving the rice pilaf, like that's the kind of stuff that resonates with me. So it's
Yeah.
weird. Like I was listening to Ricky Smiley this morning.
Oh, love him.
Erica Badu was on there. Well, I actually saw the video of it because he pretty much films everything. So they had the video of it on YouTube maybe yesterday, and I saw
Okay.
that and was like, "Oh wow, I didn't realize that she was on there." But you just could see like, and I mean, I love Erica Badu, always have, but you just could see like the connection between them because you saw the video of her actually in the studio with them.
Uh,
You could see the connection. You saw them hug for probably 3 minutes before they even started talking.
start talking. Oh,
You just saw the love of it. And then when you listen to the conversation on air today, because they actually played it on the show today, then it was,
okay.
wow, like she really got a heart, and you could tell that they love each other. Like forget the music, forget the entertainment, forget everything else. You could tell that they love each
As
other.
people, as
Yes.
people.
And then that
Yeah.
was like, I tweeted this morning. I said she just skated right up to the top of my bucket list interviews now. Like I gotta talk to her now because now I really see the human side of her. And I think that's what I look for in like the artists that I speak to. And like it shines with you. So I
Thank
just want to say
you.
thank you for being who you are. Thank you for doing what you do. Obviously, not only to build and inspire yourself, but you're inspiring so many other people and people like
Yeah.
myself. And again, like I love this industry. I love being able to connect with you. I wish we had hours to talk. Like we could do
I'll
one.
come back. I'll come back. I'd love to come
Listen,
back.
you're gonna have to, because, but I'm like we could have like one of those drink champ interviews that be like 2.5 hours long, and
Because
um,
the time gets away with me when I talk to people that
it does.
are like minded. It gets away from me too. I'm like, oh, it's all over
I
already.
feel like your people are sitting somewhere like, okay, tell him. Shut like, you gotta go. So I'm
No,
like,
I haven't got no text messages yet. But like
yeah.
wrap it up. But no, I haven't got any messages yet.
But I am gonna actually kind of wrap it up a little bit. I think the biggest thing I want to know is obviously where can people find you? So like
Okay.
website, social media, that sort of thing, and then I'll ask the next question after that.
Okay. I am Lena Byrd Miles. My full name on all things, social media. That's Twitter, Facebook, my Instagram, and then there's lenabirdmiles.com to keep up with me there. But on all digital media outlets, it's just my name, Lena Byrd Miles, and my album is titled, as he said earlier, Brand New. It's an afro with flowers, so it's real easy to see me um, in the cover art of it. But yeah, I'm pretty easy to find. Love to laugh, so I'm always posting funny stuff on my Instagram, and I probably am most active on Instagram. So if anybody is like trying to see something I'm doing or wanting to know where I'm going next, I usually post the flyers and stuff there as they come in. I'll probably post it there first, then Facebook. But Twitter, I need to do better with Twitter and TikTok. But
I've gotten really good on the social media tip now, because I have my own company. So I finally gotten good enough on that tip. So I have all of my social media linked. So when I post it to Instagram, it hits everywhere. I had put a flyer together for our conversation today, and I've been doing so much running that I never posted it. So I'm gonna still post it to let everybody know that the interview is out there. So you'll see that when it comes. But my last question I was going to ask you, what else do you have coming up? So, I mean, I know that obviously you're on the 7-city tour with ERICA Campbell, but what other things do you have coming up that everybody can check out?
I'll be at, for June, I'll be at the San Jose Juneteenth. Hopefully there's some kind of way that they'll have footage of that. That's coming up June 17th, which is next Saturday, I want to say. And then we have the Gospel Stellar Awards that I've been nominated as New Artist of the Year. So we'll see. We're keeping fingers crossed.
Like, that's so amazing. Like, what is the feeling of that?
I cried. I mean, I cried so bad when Warren Campbell called me to tell me that my husband bust through the other room that we have here. I was in the other room because it was early and he was still in bed asleep. So he heard my screaming, like my cry. He said, "Who died?" He thought somebody passed away.
That means you were screaming. Yeah, you were screaming.
So he was like, "What's wrong? Who died?" He thinking like his face was with like that terror, like what happened? And I was like, I was nominated for New Artist of the Year. And so what's funny is later on, he was like, he got dressed, he went and got in his truck and went to work. But he was like, man, I was just in my truck bawling, I was crying. Because we really didn't see this happening for me. Not in that sense, like that it would never happen. But I didn't get into the industry, to do.
Like I just do it for that. Like you get
these are bonuses that come with. Yes, these are bonuses but for people to, and then I'm like, this is my first project. It made #1 for 3 weeks in a row. I'm like, I never would have thought. And then they say, some gospel artists never make a #1. Absolutely. So to hear, I didn't know. See, I'm still learning about all the processes and all the wording and all the things. So I'm like, oh, this is a big deal. They're like, yeah. This is a very big deal. So,
but it all goes back to obviously the content that you're putting together, but it also matters. It also matters the people you're working with. And then, how you connect with your fan base and that sort of thing. Yeah. So that's why, obviously the social media sites and whatnot are super important, because that's the way that everybody's connecting today. So it's like all of that comes together to, really, put that finished product together. But I think it's amazing. Like, I think it's amazing. Kudos and congratulations to you for the nominations. Obviously I'll be watching. Are you doing Essence this year?
I haven't had a request. I did do it not last year. I think the year prior to last. And but several people were like, "You got to come back. You got to come back." So I don't know who's in charge of, but I would love if they said, "Lena, we want you." I would love to go because I had a good time.
I'm planning on going. I was a little late sending in for the credentials and whatnot, so I don't know if I'll be credentialed, but whether I am or not, I'll be there. I should be there because it's an amazing time down there, and I mean, because you've done it before. Like,
that was my very first time, and I was so excited. But you can't make it's like you need two bodies. Like
you do.
Can one me go? Because you'd be like, oh, that was happening while I was over here. And how do you decide?
And that's how it is, honestly. like on a credentialed side too. It was like, okay,
Oh,
it's like, okay, I either want to be in the press room because I know that everybody is going to come through the press room. So I either want to be there or I want to be down on the floor with
yeah.
everybody because all of the viewers and the fans are down there. So it's like you want
Yeah.
to connect with them too, but it's like you can't do but one or the other. So when I tell
And you
you,
gotta eat. You gotta eat in between that.
when I tell you, I don't think I ate the whole day because when I did it, I went by myself, and
Okay.
I think I was just so like, with that being your first time doing it, that was my first time doing it. So this was like maybe 2017 or 16 was the
Okay.
first time I did it.
Okay.
And I was so blown away that I was just like, okay, forget about the food. Like I'm good. I mean, I literally got up and my hotel was actually at the airport. So I took a taxi to the
Venue.
because Uber wasn't big, or it may not have even been around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I took a taxi to the to the Ernest, to the where they do the Essence Fest at, and literally just ran around and did media stuff all day long. And then it was like, okay, we
Wow.
take a taxi back to the hotel at 10 o'clock and go find something to eat and
Yeah.
thing. But it's an amazing time. So
It was.
I'm planning on being there. Hopefully, I'll get to see you down there and
I
actually get to meet you and that
know.
sort of thing. But we definitely have to do this again. Like, my biggest thing is to build those genuine relationships where then we can promote you and we can have you on the platform even when you don't necessarily have an album coming out. Like
Yeah. Thank
I
you.
like to be able to connect with people and kind of keep it going and
Thank you.
be consistent with it and really support them even when there's not a new project out.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
like, I love the fact that we were able to do it. Thank you for taking the time. I'm sorry to the powers that be. I know I am way over. Um,
No, you okay? Like I said, nobody texted me nothing yet, so we good.
well, good because I get that a
We
lot of
good.
times too. They'll be like, okay, or somebody will come in my ear like, okay, you got to wrap it up. So I
Okay.
appreciate you so much. Anything,
Likewise.
last words or comments that you want to get out there before we stop?
Just thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it, even though it was quick. I enjoyed our talk, and
Absolutely.
I too look forward to meeting you. I just wish you well in your businesses
Thank
and all
you.
that you have going on. That God would just continue opening big doors for you, and
Thank you.
help you with
Thank
your
you.
heart's desires. That every dream comes true for you and your businesses. So,
Absolutely.
Godspeed on everything.
And I know that we'll definitely come together again.
Yeah.
Ray, he gives me everybody. So I'm like,
Okay. Okay.
it's funny. Like, we were talking about somebody else, and then he was like, okay, I can't get you in on that one. And then he sent me your information. And when I listened, I'm like, I actually responded immediately, like,
Oh,
yeah, let's do it. And I know when I responded,
thank
I was like, whatever time you got, I ain't throwing no time out there because then if she's not available that time, I might not get it. So I'm like, whatever time you say, I'll be ready.
No, thank
So,
you. That means it means a lot to me that people want to do it.
oh
So
yeah, oh yeah. If
it
they
means a
don't,
lot.
I'm wrong because they need to want to talk to you.
Thank you.
I think there's so much that you have to offer the industry, and I think there's so much that you're offering already. So I thank
Thank
you.
you.
I know a lot of others do, and
Thank
we
you.
will definitely do this again.
Okay, till next time.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Good interview.